actually helping admissions officers answer many of the questions they'll have about you, like, what will you do that's meaningful at their college? What are you going to study? What will you bring to the campus community that's going to enrich it? How much more effective do you think your profile would be if one idea were all you needed to get you to stand out and land your application in the yes pile? How much clearer of a picture would admissions officers have of you if you had this one thing covered? And how much more confident would you feel knowing you absolutely have this in your back pocket come application time? At Forge Extraordinary, this is exactly what we teach all of our students to build and do. Okay, so time for a recap. At this point, we know that we must know ourselves. We know we need to simplify and do less for greater impact. And we know we need to use the secret weapon or the ideal principle to command the attention of colleges. Now, let's look at how to escape the all too common, well-rounded life and stand out without losing our minds. Because this is super important, guys. I know that in the beginning, if you're so fixated on excelling, you just want to focus on that and rack up achievements and activities. I get it. I mean, how can having multiple skills and achievements hurt, right? But the truth is it's no good. We've already touched on how this is the last thing that's going to make you stand out, which brings us to the fourth shift. Don't just snorkel, scuba dive. This next shift is all about depth. Which looks like this. We can do a little bit of everything, hence the term well-rounded. But you see, we all have a finite amount of time each day, and how you choose to spend it will be reflected in your application. What admission officers really want to see is more of what I think of as a T, like Tina, which I liken to snorkeling and scuba diving. Snorkeling obviously involves swimming near the water's surface, and scuba diving involves going deep, diving deep underwater and completely immersing yourself. The difference between the two is how deep you go. As you can see here, the horizontal or snorkeling aspect of your profile is typically where I see most applicants remain. They go far and wide in the number and variety of activities they choose to do, but they don't go much beyond the surface. What we teach is to snorkel, yes, as a way of showing your ability to handle all that's expected of you in the classroom and campus. And in doing so, yes, you can show your intelligence, your attention to family and community, and your creativity. But what most students fail to demonstrate is their intellectual curiosity, their personal motivation, or their special interest. And that's where the vertical scuba dive portion comes in, because it involves pursuing an in-depth interest, skill, or knowledge specific to your personality that goes deeper than your peers. It's unique to you and means a longer time commitment. So for example, this could be the playing of an instrument, the personal study of a topic in science, the creation of a business or a nonprofit, the pursuit of competition in athletics, or etc. So not only does sustained involvement show your persistence and depth, but it also gives you an opportunity to demonstrate leadership. And I call it having the T factor, and it's the most effective way to leverage your uniqueness and show what makes you awesome. Okay, so you may be thinking, Tina, I don't have a special skill. I'm not a gifted musician or athlete. I don't have anything unique that I've done for a long time. And that's okay. Most of the students that come to me don't. This is the fun part, where we can actually help you uncover an area to pursue that you love that will absolutely bring out your T factor. And so what's great about the T factor is it gives admissions officers a view into your overall mindset. They want to see signs that you refuse to acknowledge a ceiling on your ability and that you persevere in the face of challenges. That's what comes with doing something prolonged and going deep. So the best way for me to explain this is to just give you a really simple example. One of my students was Max. Max was a student athlete whose dream was to earn a BS at a top tier college with the opportunity to compete at the Division I level. Now, even though his grades and classes were strong, the volume of work required to excel was taking a huge toll on his ability to sleep and recover for practice, let alone stay awake in class. This kid went to the gym before school at 5:30 a.m. and finished practice after school at 5:30 p.m. By the time he got home, showered, had dinner, he was usually sitting down to do his schoolwork at 9 p.m. Max was sleeping on average 4 hours a night, and that, as you know, is insane. It's no way to get through school and in life. Obviously, Max realized that he could not sustain the level of performance he was used to in school or on the field. He was absolutely spinning his wheels. And we determined that because he was a high-level athlete competing at the state and national levels, he'd already established his scuba dive. The problem was he was drowning in schoolwork and commitments. And for him, his psychology was that he was a victim of this well-rounded mindset, trying to excel at many things, which was hurting his performance in everything. So remember the second shift? Max not only needed to simplify, but he also needed to get his T factor dialed in. So we focused on helping him stay sharp in his vertical, because that was clearly the thing he was doing at depth and at a level greater than his peers. So we restructured his schedule to make sense, greatly lightened his workload so he could have a more sustainable week schedule and get the sleep that he needed. He also opted to choose electives in leadership and community service, which allowed him to not have to be part of clubs, but also demonstrate his impact in the community. He also took study hall as a way to get some of his schoolwork done while at school instead of, late at night. Not only did he engage in his classes more, but he freed himself up so he could keep his main thing the main thing. He continued to dive deep in his sport while maintaining his snorkel, and he is now at his dream school, the United States Naval Academy. And now the fifth shift, which is to invest in mentoring. Everyone should have a mentor. Mentoring brings two things: new ideas and accountability. There are new ideas in your head right now that would not have been there if you didn't make time for this webinar. Here's how it works. If you've made it this far, it's likely that you have a big goal to attend a top-tier college, and I don't have to remind you that to get into your dream school, you're going to have to set yourself apart. But you may be facing some huge obstacles to achieving your goal. The first is your psychology. Doubt and fear are dream killers. The number one component to reaching your desired outcome is going to be your mindset. Having laser focus on what you want, plus absolute clarity around who you are, all while conditioning your brain daily to be curious, open, and growth-oriented. This is the foundation from which all winning applications are built. Next is your strategy. Without the right one, you could be making the mistake that so many top college hopefuls make and wind up traveling down a rabbit hole of frustration and misleading assumptions that leave them exhausted and confused. Furthermore, since that's what everyone else is doing, you'll never stand out that way. Instead, follow a proven and simple strategy that takes the guesswork out of the college admissions process and sets you up for success. And finally, support. Let's face it, this journey is not for the faint of heart. You will have many questions specific to your situation along the way. Do you want to rely on your neighbors or your friends for advice? Do you want to go it alone and try to figure it out along the way, hoping and praying you might make the right decisions even though there are no second chances? Or do you want to have expert guidance and support that can ensure you are doing everything you can to present your best self stand out and maximize your chances of getting accepted. Because when you combine and optimize all three of these, you will experience the power of mentoring. So let me ask you this. What are you doing to help maximize your teen's college admissions odds? How confident are you in your strategy? If you're not happy, you need to develop your psychology, you need to find a new plan, and you need to get expert guidance. You need a mentor. Let's think about this. If you were able to do all of your college research, determine the best fit schools that where you had a good shot at getting into, you were able to craft an exceptional application, write perfect essays, get accepted to your dream schools, and then thrive once you're there. It's a great fit. You are way ahead of the crowd. Trying to do all of that without the proper guidance and support is nuts. I've seen many parents and students wing it and be racked with regret because they can't get a do-over. Investing in your child's future of success, happiness, and fulfillment pays for itself 1,000-fold, no question. What is the value you place on being able to know with confidence that your child's going to submit the best application possible and have the best chances of getting accepted to their favorite school where they have just one chance? What is it worth to you to not have to stress about all the decisions they need to make in the process and worry about making the wrong ones? Don't go it alone. Find the best mentor out there and spend what it takes to work with them. So today I promised I would show you how your teen can build that exceptional application profile, one that's going to capture the attention of admissions officers, even in a sea of thousands of applicants. We talked to you about how to know exactly what to focus on in high school amidst all the confusing information out there. We also covered how to end the vicious cycle of endless hours of studying, no sleep, and constant stress from having to do it all. We also talked about how to leverage your uniqueness and truly stand out while showcasing your personality, your interests, and initiative without spreading yourself too thin. And I covered how to get the most out of this college admission journey so that you can apply with confidence and feel inspired and empowered and ready to take on the world. And we talked about how to do all of this despite all the ongoing uncertainty surrounding standardized tests, canceled programs, and online schooling. You now have what you need to win, which is to know yourself, simplify, use the secret weapon, don't just snorkel, scuba dive, and invest in mentoring. These 5 shifts alone are enough to crush your application. And now you have a choice. You can either take the information I've given you and you can forget all about it. You can keep on struggling to research the internet, trying to sort through the sea of information that's out there. You can keep on guessing blindly and hoping that your child puts together an application that won't get tossed in the reject pile. You can keep grinding away. Or if you want to start getting serious about doing the right things at the right time, if you want to ensure that your child gets the exact guidance and support that they deserve to get accepted, and you want to start focusing on the things in their profile that truly matter, that will make them stand out, then here's what I have for you. My team and I have set aside some time in the next 48 hours to speak to you personally about how you can apply these ideas to your family's journey today. I don't care if you're like Tina, I just want help with course selection, or I just need help with building a college list, or I don't even know where to begin. It doesn't matter, because whatever the biggest challenges are for you, we've seen it and we know how to overcome it. It's the same strategy that my students have been using to gain acceptance to their dream schools over the years. Now on this session, we're going to get you clear on 3 things. 1, the exact strategy to standing out in a sea of competitive applicants so you can get accepted to your dream school. 2, the exact plan that will get you crystal clear on what you should be focusing on in high school. And 3, the exact method for leveraging the power of you. Bring out your brilliance and express it fully so your authentic voice and narrative that's 100% you and only you comes through loud and clear. and the cost is absolutely free. So on this presentation, I've been able to give you some new ideas, and I've been able to lay out the broad strokes. But look, every student is different. You're different. And so I have to go in there and customize what I've taught you today so that it applies to you. And that's what we're going to do on the call. But here's the catch. This is not for everybody. Here's who this is for. You must be proactive and understand that preparing for college begins well before it's time to actually sit down and fill out the application forms. What does that mean? If your teen is a senior, just beginning to think about where to apply or cramming to write essays and it's September, this is not for you. If, however, you are thinking ahead, you have a freshman, a sophomore, or a junior that wants a strategic plan, this is absolutely for you. You must be coachable, open-minded, and self-motivated. If your teen needs to be prodded, poked, and nagged at, and constantly reminded to stay on task or bring their full engagement, then this is probably not for you. You must be an action taker who follows directions and takes 100% responsibility for your own success. Our students are ambitious go-getters who accept challenge and opportunities for growth. So if that's you, then definitely book a session now. You're probably wondering, like, Tina, this sounds cool, but why are you doing this? Why are you doing this for free? I do this because I love giving back and helping students achieve their goals. It's my mission. Plus, I know that you might want my help to build a world-class application so you can get into a top college. If so, we can discuss it and see if it's a good fit for both of us. If not, that's fine too. Either way, just doing the call is going to get you more clarity and more insight into your plan than you've probably had in a really long time. So if you want to book a call with us, go to forageextraordinary.com/call. You should also see a little button pop up on the side of the webinar. You can click that button too. When you click it, you will be taken to our calendar page. You're going to see all of the available appointment times. Just pick one, whichever one works for you. After that, you'll be taken to a very short application. It's just simple, like 5 or 6 questions. Fill it in really quick, and we'll get on the call with you at the appointment time that you choose. And it's going to be the best hour you've ever spent planning your child's college admissions journey and future. So go to forageextraordinary.com/call, and we're super excited to speak to you. Thank you for attending. I'm Tina Wilson, and we'll talk soon.